My mic on. The way we conduct the meetings is turn our mics on first. And well, we're going to invite the petitioner up, come up, sign in, state the reason that you're in front of us. It's then going to come back to the board. If there's any questions, we'll ask them at that period of time. Then I will return back to the petitioner and also to the floor. Once I close it from the floor, no one else will get to speak anymore. The petitioner will get to rebut any additional comments they have. We are missing one member. We need 4 positive votes to have anything accomplished. And we have everything in front of us. We'll move ahead. We have some issues. We may table it, but I don't see we're going to probably need it this evening. Our first item we have is 2000. Oh, I forgot to call roll, didn't I? In my error. Samantha? Here. Here? Okay, Mr. Smith? Yes. So Roney and Ms. Mossberg, and we also have Gary from the building department with us. I'm sorry. I got a little ahead of myself. The first item we have is 2024-03. I have someone here representing. Can they please come up to the podium?
Good evening. My name is Sean Kelly. I'm an attorney, and I represent Mr. Kevin Browning in connection with this application. I don't have any particular or specific comments or remarks prepared for this evening. We're going to stand on our written submission. I'm only here to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, thank you so much, Counselor. On that note, I'm going to start off with Mr. Smith.
I have no questions at this time.
Mr. LaBelle, please, sir.
I do have a question. What has something changed since the last time this was brought in front of us?
It has. My client went back and actually got a different estimate and proposal for the sunroom. It's in fact exactly the same footprint as his existing deck. That is the change.
Mr. Barone, sir.
I have a question about the deck itself. Was the deck itself ever inspected that you know of?
I'm not aware of that. Yeah.
Please come on,
no,
sign
go ahead.
in.
Well, the reason I ask is because if it's in the easement, if it's in the setback, then it probably wasn't inspected and wasn't approved.
But I mean, it wasn't my client, as he said.
I understand. I'm just
Yeah.
saying if that's why I question
That I have no knowledge.
Because I see your
Yeah.
notification that it's
Sam, an open deck is allowed to go
it doesn't
15 feet into the required easement.
15 instead of,
If it's 35 to the rear house, the deck can go 15 feet into the required rear
okay,
easement.
gotcha. That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Fossberg, please.
No additional questions. I was going to ask the same about the deck. Thank you.
Ms. Hickey, please.
No further questions.
Thank you so much. At this time, the chair really doesn't have any questions. Gary, can you please elaborate on this one for me?
They applied originally and it doesn't meet the ordinance. They came to ZBA, they were denied. They've reapplied with just a smaller, but it still doesn't meet the ordinance, which I couldn't approve, so we're back to ZBA.
How has your meeting been with them? Have they been trying to cooperate and get something done that would work for them, or can you elaborate on that, please?
I mean, it's still basically the same scenario. There is a location where they can build this and meet the ordinance. They just decided they want it in this location, so
Okay.
I don't get to approve it if it doesn't meet the ordinance.
I understand that. Is that kind of, sorry, Counselor.
No, it's okay.
Is that kind of going the way that we could probably get this type of room on the site if he really changes the location?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question.
You said there's room for something on the site if he changes the location. Am I right in saying that, Gary?
Previously, when we were
On the
before-
side.
Yeah, when my client was before the ZBA before, it was decided that there was, relief available to my client because there's a possibility that the sunroom, the proposed sunroom at that time, would fit on the side of the house because the setback is smaller on that side. Now, in our letter, we've addressed a number of issues with that. I think the most pressing, well, really there's 2 primary ones. One is that there's no door wall back there to egress the home out to the sunroom on the side of the house. Given that, in order to punch through that wall, so to speak, you're talking about moving electrical lines, you're talking about moving plumbing, HVAC, removal of the masonry, and installation of the door itself, which increases my client's costs to the tune of 5 figures. All right. So that's included in our written submission. The other issue being is that the primary reason for the sunroom is for my client's wife's care, and on that side of the house, being that it's a 2-story on that side, it's a split level, the sunroom would only get sun about a few hours a day at most, maybe 2 hours. Sort of negates the reason for having a sunroom. There are additional reasons in the written submission, but those are the 2 big ones.
Okay. So basically, what I'm understanding is really economic gain or loss, of putting it in a different location is not really the reason for granting any type of variance.
Frankly, it's cost prohibitive.
Cost prohibitive.
To put it on that side of the house,
Yeah,
to the
but
side, yes.
there is a place that it could actually go. So that's an issue that we're dealing with.
Like I said, it could, in theory, go there. In
Right.
practicality, it's impossible due to the increases in economic cost.
Well, the economic cost, I don't know if we could use it as a reason to approve it. That's where we're kind of stumbling with.
There are portions of the variance criteria ordinance. I want to make sure that I cite the specific provision.
Please do, Counselor.
7.2.E 4A. So that is strict enforcement of the provisions of this chapter would cause practical difficulty and/or unnecessary hardship. So that's what we're talking about, economic hardship from having to put it on that side of the home. Again, you're talking about a 5-figure increase in cost to put it over there.
Since I've been sitting on this board, we have never really used financial as a hardship benchmark. So I'm not saying you can argue it someplace. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I don't foresee that we could actually move in that direction, because as a practice, I don't think we ever have. Anything additional from my right?
No, I just think that the unnecessary hardship, I think that contemplates financial hardship. I don't know what other kind of hardship the ordinance would speak to if it was not financial hardship.
I think the hardship we run into at this juncture would be the fact that if there was not an option on the site to actually provide the addition or something of that nature, that would be considered, and everyone on the street was entitled to it. So basically, that's where I would look at it right now. Once again, anything from my right here, please.
I just have one comment. Typically, when the undue hardship provision is applied, not typically, absolutely, it is applied to use variance requests, not dimensional variance requests. So it wouldn't apply in this case, as Mr. Stepanek comments.
Does the ZBA in Chesterfield Township allowed to approve use variances?
Yes, this is not a use variance request, though.
Well, that's what I'm
The
saying.
The
but-
ZBA cannot
But
grant.
you don't
Use variances.
You don't grant use variances.
ZBA
anyway.
cannot grant use variances.
Yeah.
So then the only way that this unnecessary hardship would be applied to dimensional variances.
Anything else? Mr. LaBelle, any wise words of wisdom there, sir? No? Okay, thank you, sir. Gary, any comments or concerns, sir?
I have nothing further.
This is a public hearing. Anyone wish to address it, please come forward. Once again, anyone in the public wish to address this? Mr. Barone, any comments in your world of expertise on this?
No, I mean, my thoughts were the same as they were the first time. Leaving the deck that's there and using the deck to access the sunroom. I'm not sure of what's in the house. I think I brought this point up the first time it was here, that The power that's going to that house, I'm sure, is on that back right corner of your house. That's where you're coming up with the 5-figure hardship. Is that utilities, is that gas, something,
It
something's
is,
gotta be there?
as well as just punching through the wall and
I
installing a
remember
new
that
door
was
wall.
the point I brought up at that, last time they were here, was that the deck can be used to access. The same means of egress is to go out onto a walkway or something and then get to that side sunroom.
Well, no, that's the issue, is to go out. I mean, I think you would still have to, you can't, I'm not aware that there's any proposal or ability for the sunroom to actually be able to connect directly to the deck. There would be a large gap. If you look at an overhead of the property, I think I have one actually.
I looked at is it something different than the plot plan?
Yeah, I have the GIS
The
capture on page 4 of the written submission. So you're talking about having that sunroom over on the west side of the property. That deck, I mean, I don't see how, if you built it over there, I don't know that it's possible to get out through the deck and then get over to the sunroom from there.
What is the back of you said the means of egress, I'm sure there's a door wall that leads from the nook or a kitchen?
Yeah, it
And then
goes out
it's
onto,
probably family room and bedroom
it
across
goes
the
out
back of
onto
that?
the,
Dining room,
it's the dining room, yes.
but it's only 38 feet from our back door is only 38 feet from the fence, so it's like 3 feet.
Yeah.
Plus my wife cannot, she may have to be in a wheelchair by then.
Oh, yeah, so that's a good point that my client brings up, is that it's likely that soon his wife will be in a wheelchair. So that option would obviously be foreclosed there as well. Like we said, that's kind of the primary purpose of this.
Well, from my understanding of the way a sunroom would go onto the house, you're gonna completely remove a wall of the house in order to make that handicap accessible? Otherwise,
No, but
that's a moot point that she's gonna be in a wheelchair.
No, if you put it where the existing deck is now, she can get out the door wall right into the sunroom on the
Well, but
back.
that's not a zero egress, because you actually have to go up and over the threshold of the.
I'm sure you can do some minor modifications
Okay, well,
to that.
I'm
but-
just,
Well, if
we
we're
can
gonna,
go round and round on
hold
how
on,
many-
Ken. I'll bring my client up here. This is Kevin Browning.
Please do,
And-
sir, please. He can take the podium for a
Sure.
minute.
Yeah.
That's no
absolutely,
problem.
Go ahead.
I understand.
The only comment I want to put on the record is, if we're going to talk modifications, I would think that a minor modification to allow a wheelchair to exit from the dining room onto the deck would be much simpler than punching a hole in the side of the house to put a sunroom over there. Go ahead, Kevin.
Please, sir, thank you.
No problem. The builder and I have already worked this out. I want to be able to roll a wheelchair out there. So he's going to make it flush with the exit of that door wall. And the point I was trying to make also is my back fence is only 38 feet from the back door. So I've only got like 3 feet that I could build. So I would have to take her out and squeeze her around to get out to the side if we didn't punch out a wall. And the other thing is that, like I said, it's not gonna do her any good on that side because it's in the shadow of our 2-story building on that side. We have a split level, it's 2 stories on the west side of the building. It doesn't get sun until 2 or 3 in the afternoon on that side. So basically, if we have it on the existing deck, that's gonna be torn down completely, because it's a 25-year-old deck that was built before we even bought the house. So I don't know if he pulled a permit or not. But we would be pulling a permit for the additional deck on the other side of that. And facing the south in the back, it would be an actual sunroom. We would get sun all day long.
Sorry to interrupt. The back of your house is due
Facing
south?
On the west side, like I said, it's a 2-story building. We don't get sun over there until 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Another thing which I think Kevin addressed originally, although I don't recall from having watched the previous video of the prior ZBA meeting, but on that side of the property, if you're talking about building it over there, you've got a corner lot next door. So that sunroom is staring directly into, and that home has large door walls and large kitchen windows. You're staring at their patio, you're staring into their home to build that sunroom on that side of the house as well. Besides, it does seem rather awkward to put a sunroom on the side of a house where, yes, there is a lesser setback on that side, but the fence there, and because of the wedge shape, that sunroom is going to be within a matter of 5 feet from the fence, rather awkward, staring at the back of a corner lot home right into their kitchen and their patio.
Anything additional, board? Anything additional you wish to add?
Nothing.
What's the board's pleasure, please? Anyone, please make a motion and state your reason for approval, denial, and how you wish to frame the motion. Anybody, please? Once again, what's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Please do.
I'd like to make a motion to deny the request 2024-03, 25692 Princess Drive. The reason for my denial is there is an opportunity for the the sunroom to be installed or built in the footprint, in the allowable footprint of the, as the ordinance requires.
I do have a motion to deny. Any questions?
I'll support
I'll
that.
support, I need support too.
I'll support that.
Thank you so much. I do have a motion to deny, I do have support. Any additional comments you wish to make on that motion there, Kathy, or are we good? Okay. Anybody else wish to comment or concerns on the motion set forth? Call for, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? No one, no nays? We're all, it's been denied, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Next item we have is 2024, that's 4, that is on Spruce, I believe. Come up, sign in, state the reason that you're in front of us this evening. Turn the mic on, please. Thank you, sir.
The little red light will come on.
The light should turn on right below the mic. There it is.
Hi, my name is Brian Shalinsky. I live at 50120 Spruce Drive, Chesterfield. For 24 years I've been living here. I'm asking for a variance for a shed that I have built already. It's on the side of my house, but I'm being told that's considered the front of a second front of a front house or something, property. But it's actually on the side of the house, and I need this shed because I can't put it in my backyard because I'm a rounded corner right there on Callens and Spruce, and my land and half of my backyard, it starts to curve and rolls down for the rainwater to drain properly. That's one of my hardships. Another hardship is I have a one-car garage that's attached to the house. I have a small house, like a 1,200 square foot house with a small one-car garage attached to it, and I had to build shelves. I've built shelves 3 high in my shelf to put as much stuff up there as I can through the years. And then the small floor that's there, I have a riding lawnmower and other stuff, and I have a 5-year-old and bikes and grandkids. So it's completely full. My basement is full. I'm a self-employed painter. I have my own business. And for the last 5-6 years, I've been using a storage unit to put all my painting equipment in, which I have to access like every day from my car. I take stuff out, put it in there, grab what I need for the next day. And they just keep upping the price still. It's up at $200 a month for a 10 by 12 little dinky thing. So I came up with an idea to build a 10 by 12 shed on my property, not realizing I needed a permit, and I already hired someone to do it. While it was being built, I guess somebody was driving around and saw it being built and then contacted me and said, I need to go down here and get a permit. So I came down here. I was told I probably wouldn't get it. And then it sort of just, this is like last August. So I did put in for a permit. I think I was probably denied or something, but I'm asking for a variance. Like I said, if I was to put it, there's only one spot I could put it in my backyard. It would have to be in the far back left corner. And like to walk through the wet grass or the mud or the snow through the access to my equipment would just be like a big walk and messy and back and forth, where right now I can pull right up to it. It's right there. I just open the door. All my stuff is there. I pull it out. It's like, I had a slab of cement there. It's all built beautifully. I painted it beautifully. It's even kind of blends in with the same color as the fence, and I got little trees there. And like I really need this to have my stuff in there. You know, my house is so small. You know, it took me like over a year to save up the money to do this. And prior to that, a couple years before, I had to have 2 big trees removed out of my backyard. That one was pushing on my wall, and my whole wall in the basement was coming in. And I spent $20,000 to have that dug up and fixed. And you know, I'm putting money in my house trying to fix it. I had a $10,000 nice privacy fence put up there, you know, and I'm just trying to make the house look better. And the thing does look nice. And like, basement wall. I mean, I've drove around looking, and I've seen other sheds in front of where they probably shouldn't be, according to what I'm told by mine. All through, I've drove around looking. I've like found so many. I stopped documenting. And I'm like, well, I'm sure some of those probably had variances at one point, maybe, and some of them might have to do with being close to the river, you know, Salt River there. But some weren't. Some were just built there, and they're there. And even my neighbor behind me has a shed in the same spot that's been there. And that's what I based my idea of doing it off of, where his was located. It's right behind my backyard on the next street over, and it's like in the same spot. And another thing I was looking at, you know, like I had my fence built up to the back of my house where the fence will come to it. And I see other people across the street where their fence comes up to the front of their house. And I'm like, if I built my fence up to like to go straight out a little more and then connect to the house like the other people I could see where theirs is, that shed would fit exactly in that backyard unit, which is on the side of my house. Anyways, it's not like in the front yard. It's not in the front of my house. It's like a good 4.5 feet from the front of my house. And it's like just tucked in there really beautifully. and like I just please beg for a variance on it. And,
Okay. We'll have some questions, and we'll get back to you, okay? Just stay right there. We should be good. Ms. Fosberg, please.
Thank you. Your house is on the corner.
Yes.
You said of Callan's
Yes,
and Spruce?
yes.
All right, and you did apply? You said you did apply for a building permit?
I did after I started building it. I didn't realize I needed a permit. And then once I was informed I did, I came down immediately, I believe I talked to that gentleman there. And he, you know, that didn't go well. And then, so I didn't know what to do. And it was halfway built at that point, so they finished building it. And then I'm trying to deal with a variance and stuff, which I was trying to save up the money for a variance, which I $450, did that. I mean, I'm a father of a 5-year-old I have custody of since he was a baby. Like, I put him in daycare when I work, so like I don't get to work that much because I have to come home and get him and take care of him. He's right at home right now with my older son. And like, for me to, like a $7,000 I spent on that slab and then to build the shed is like a lot of money for me right now because I can only work so many hours because of my son and all the, so that was that's a lot of money, like for me. And like my plan, I need to build a deck because after I had my walls pulled back, I had to dig everything up.
Sir, excuse me. Sorry,
I'm
I
scrambling.
understand it, and it's hard doing all those things, that's a lot of responsibility, all that. Is there any, I guess, I'm looking at if you were told then you needed a permit, why you didn't stop and, I mean, you need a variance, why you didn't wait to get the variance before you continued? I realize you had some costs, you paid for stuff that was in the ground already, but there is a point at which you can stop. So it's more of a comment than a question.
I
Thank
did
you.
kind of, we did stop for a week, and then I talked to the builder, and they wanted their money, and I'm like, well, just, I guess, finish building it, and I pay you, and then I'm gonna deal with all this later.
Sir, I fully understand your financial, and like we said earlier, basically, we really can't grant it on financial.
Yeah.
You did say you're self-employed, sir, and being self-employed, a little bit more responsibility. You know there's permits and contracts to be signed. You know, I don't know exactly your business, but I don't know if you go into a place and start painting and now have a contract, because sometimes it's hard to get the money then. So, you know, I understand that, but the other thing is, we have requirements in this community, and we look at it trying to treat everyone equally and fair. And there was a couple warnings on this, and unfortunately, people buy a corner lot, and I don't mean mean to the realtors, you know, and they think they have all this extra property, but it's really a bigger responsibility, and we consider that not as a side, but part of the front yard to keep it within harmony of the community. So that's kind of what we're running into, sir, and I wish we had some latitude on that, but we really don't. And I'm going to get on a couple more questions, but I will get back to you, okay? Mr. Barone, please.
I guess my question is, why can't it go behind the house, up against, close to the house?
Well, okay, like I was getting to, I had the wall fixed and all the dirt was out, all the dirt was put back. So
On
the
the,
deck,
on the, excuse me, on the side where the garage is, on that corner?
on the side where the,
Yeah,
side,
I'm looking at the 1.5 car garage, I'm looking at your plot plan.
it was in the backyard, and then on the other side, I had dug up. So I have a driveway that goes right to my backyard. So nothing was being done to that wall there, because that's the garage wall, it's not the basement. But when I had to remove the old deck, and eventually I'm going to build another deck there whenever I can save some money up, and maybe in a couple more years, have a deck in that spot, right through the sliding glass patio door. So I'll have a deck there, and so I couldn't put that there. I can't put it anywhere on the right side. The only place, and then like I said, if I had it, the only place I could put it would be the back, far back of my yard in a corner. But to access that daily, due to the weather, you know, the water, the snow, in the mud, just back and forth.
What's on that corner that, your garage is 18 feet wide? 13 feet wide? What's on that corner where you say the grade is 584.4? What is that what's on that corner and how far is that setback behind the garage? If you know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at your plot plan that you've submitted. You have a grade level, because you said that's too low in the back, and your grade is 584.4, and in the back corner is 583, so it's a 16-inch drop.
So yeah, on the right side of the
Well,
back of my house.
if it's directly behind the house, it's considered behind the house. If it's next to the house, it's next to the house. So if you were behind the garage, you would be behind the house.
Yes, yes.
So what is keeping you from putting it on
Back there
that
is
corner?
there's my air conditioning unit is there. And then from that, I'm gonna have a deck put there, because right around the corner of that is where the deck was gonna be to come out from the patio door, because right now it's just a drop off.
Okay,
And-
Okay.
thank you. I'm sorry, are you done, sir? Okay. Smith? No questions. Ziggy, please. Mr. LaBelle, sir.
The required setback, I believe, is 60 feet at that point, Gary?
Required front yard setback is 35 from the property,
From Callan's,
from the property line.
from the property line.
Anywhere that property.
I'm trying to figure out what he has drawn here. And that's probably why they gave him a 1.5 car garage, because of the angle of that piece of property,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
guessing.
it slopes down, and then there's the road, and then there's a river, and there's a big drain where the water would go into there, and then goes to the river under the road. Like I put that fence up, and when you look at it from the backyard, it goes even, and then it has to slope down, and then the whole side of the road my fence is like lower, like probably like this much than the rest of the fence in the back where, you know, it's different.
I understand that. Like, I completely understand. I'm just trying to understand why, you know, and without having a proper drawing here, what could have stopped you from adding onto your garage and making your garage larger?
I guess probably money, to.
Again,
to-
that's not part of our consideration, is the money portion of it here.
To build
The shed's in the wrong spot.
Yeah, I never thought of extending a garage or.
And I don't know, without a proper drawing, I can't tell you can or you cannot, because I'm not sure what your setbacks are.
But I thought, didn't I make a little drawing with right.
But I don't see where your property line is, and then how much of a set, you've got from the center of the road,
Oh, I'm way far away from the roads. I'm not even.
I realize that, but I don't see your property line. Does he have the room to
Please do,
add on?
please do, please do.
I mean,
So we
I have
that.
pictures I brought of it right
Can you
now.
hold- Can you hold 1 minute, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is his property, that's his property line. The road is out here. So the fence would be like again.
Oh, okay,
So this has to be 30 feet from here and 30 feet from here.
So he could have added onto his garage.
Well, barely. I mean, it still would have had to be 30 from here, but he might have been able to, yes. And it can go here, anywhere back here. So yes, but that is the property line right there. And the setback from that is 30 and 30,
Right.
and 35 in the rear.
So how much of an addition could he have put on his garage?
Without doing the measurement, he probably could have, sure.
Okay. I'm getting you a point there.
Yep. Yeah.
Could I show you some pictures? I mean,
Please bring them forward. I'll pass them and then we'll give them back to you, okay?
The point that I'm trying to make here is if you couldn't add onto your garage, what would make you think that you could just put the shed even farther away? Away from the house and away from the structure?
Well,
So, I mean, therefore, you do have an opportunity to put the shed in the back of your yard, where everybody else has to. And I'm opposed to this shed being where it's at.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I appreciate it so much. Ziggy, I believe, did I get you yet? No, I didn't. I made the real estate comment, but I didn't get to you. Okay, good.
1 second, let me pull up the sketch.
Please do.
So it looks like behind the garage could be a potential spot. What about on the rear left side of the home in the back? Is it the sloping is the reason?
Not on the far left. What the problem would be is getting to it from, you know, when I come home and I need to get stuff out of my car and put it into the shed and pull different stuff out, I would have to walk through the backyard, and then eventually I'll have a deck there, so I'll have to go around the deck to where the spot you would say. So it's, and I'm just taking into account, thinking of everything, like snow, you know, and just rain and everything, and water, and like kind of muddy. Like I had new sod put in last year, but there's still some muddy spots back there because everything was dug up and had to be put back in. It was all kind of clay, but it's just too far away to track through snow and like mud, and it's dark over there. I mean, I could put a light, and it's just it'd be way out of the way.
So I
And
guess
also there's the lines that go from the house. Like if you have cable or whatever, all that stuff, they go from that spot all the way to the back, and there's like a meter where like me and neighbors tie in or something. So I don't think, like whenever we change cable or stuff happens, they put new wires in the ground, or no. That's the spot where you would be talking about.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions. My comment to the board would be, it seems that there's a few different options where he would comply with the ordinance, and it's a matter of convenience, having it on the right side. Thank you.
Gary, comments, concerns you wish to make on this?
It seems every comment has been addressed. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them.
Okay, so basically, there was a stop work order on this, and then it continued going on, like?
Yeah, halfway through the construction, code enforcement went out and told him to stop.
Okay,
And then he was issued a letter and then a ticket, and he's been in court as well.
okay,
And then the court, our attorney said, your last resort is to go to ZBA.
okay. I really understand your concerns, the way the economy is, I really do, sir, you know? One of the problems too is you keep on alluding to the fact is the shed is being for your business, and that's really something that really a residential area should not be being used for. And, you know, paint, I know the combustional factor on that could be an issue at times, That's why this board pretty much would frown on anyone that's really against the ordinance to run like a car repair or a painting type of business in your house. Now, it doesn't make any sense because I'm an accountant. I could do my thing right at my kitchen table, but the problem is we cannot use that as a benchmark to approve it. I know the storage shed will get you $200. It just keeps going up, but I can't use that as a reason to grant it for you. The township has already went ahead and got to the point of trying to do a stop work order on it when they were working on it. And it might have cost you a couple bucks to maybe move your slab put a new slab in or something, but hopefully that would be before the whole structure was put up, sir. And at this stage of the game, I don't see any relief that we really have in our power to justify. It's a beautiful shed. I mean, I really like it. It's a nice structure, sir. And I did pass by. You got a beautiful yard back there. Kids are probably got places to play, which is really good. But I just wish you did your homework on it before, and you did not have to come before us. And that's the problem I'm running into. I really can't even see a reasoning or an avenue that we could actually utilize to move forward in approving it for you this evening. At least that's the way I look at it. So the board has a different opinion on that. They can move forward. But I wish we could do something on a variance, sir.
I mean, like I said, like my neighbors is in that location. People, I see others all over.
Yeah, and that's another thing we have here is, every issue stands on its own merit. I don't know the reasons they're there, the dimensions, the lot, and everything of that nature. All I could do is I take a look at this issue, and I take a look at the issue that the township has tried to rectify this, before it actually got to this point. And as of right now, I don't think the ZBA has a legal or an even thing to move forward with moving ahead with any type of variance unless, relief on this. So that's all I had. Anything additional from my right? Anything additional from my left?
I do have one comment.
Please do, sir.
The house directly behind him has an Anders address, even though the house faces directly on Callens, the address is on the street behind him.
Yeah.
And that shed is directly in his backyard. That is his backyard. It's not the front
So
corner.
the other one is in his backyard?
Yes.
Well, their backyard has a fence, and that's not in there, and it's on the side.
It's behind the fence. It's in the backyard. It is in the rear yard. I looked into it.
Go back to my seat before I'm not away from my mic. Anything additional? What's the board's pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion to deny petition 2024-04 due to no practical difficulties to move the existing shed to where the ordinance allows.
Support?
I have a motion, I have support. Any additional comments or concerns on the motion to deny? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Petition has been denied. Thank you for coming out, sir. Wish we couldn't go a different route. Have a good evening, sir. Next one we have in front of us is 2024, number 5. We're really racking them up tonight, aren't we? Yeah, we had, we're almost close to double digits.
Okay, looks like I'm on. Good evening, my name's Keith Seitz, reside at 49182 Fuller. I'm here tonight to request a variance for a accessory building, better known as sometimes a garage. I live on a as I now know, 0.963 acre lot, not an acre lot, which is kind of what was, when you're buying these things, they kind of round those numbers off in your thing. I'm seeking to put a little addition on my garage, which puts me over the 1,200 square foot maximum for something under 1 acre. I don't think that that small variance of my property size due to the, being less than the acre really changes what effects the building would have on it versus somebody that had 0.37 larger acreage, and had the ability to put the larger building in it. So it's not something that appears to be something that would affect the facility or the environment around or anything like that. I also provided that this wouldn't be unique, and I wouldn't be getting anything unique to my neighborhood because there's at least 4 or more properties on my street alone that have the same size lot I do or smaller that have buildings, accessory buildings that are noted in the city's files that are on their properties as well. So I don't think it would make this a special circumstance. That's just on Fuller Road by my house alone.
Okay. Mr. Barone, sir.
What keeps you from making it 1,200 square feet?
I'm seeking more space than the 1,200. I have a garage right now. My accessory building is my garage because I don't have an attached garage. It was an existing building, existing garage, so I'm adding on to the back of the garage to give me space.
What's in your current garage? Using it as a garage?
Woodworking tools. I'm an amateur.
I wasn't sure if it was
hobby
turned to
guy.
living space or,
Yeah, no cars in the garage. That's the big problem. I'm trying to move my stuff that's in the garage, so I put my cars and stuff in there and move the stuff to the back, and also in a space that's heated so that I can do work when it's cold out.
okay. I have no other questions.
Thank you. Ms. Fosberg, please.
No additional questions.
Ms. Hickey, please.
No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Just have a question regarding the dimensions of your addition, and maybe my math is wrong here. You're asking for 192 square foot variance over the 1,200, but as I calculate it, the addition along with the current garage is 1,416 square feet.
You might be looking at the 12-foot overhang that's allowed when you have a outbuilding. You're allowed to have a 12-foot overhang on one side.
Okay.
So that may be what the calculation you're seeing there.
Yeah, I calculated it several different ways. I tried it, but I just couldn't get to the.
Yeah, the building is
the
24 by 35 today.
1392,
And then
yeah.
we're putting 24 by 24 on, is what
Okay.
we're requesting, yeah. With a 12-foot overhang.
Yeah. 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 We still come up with 1416, but.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Please do, sir. Please do. Thank you.
We're looking at your drawing, and you're showing that the dimension of 24 feet wide.
Yep.
And then on your drawing, it shows it 59, or is it 54 feet long? It looks like a 9 to me.
Yes,
And that math is 1416. 1416?
Gary, can you confirm that, or can you take a look at that, please?
Bill and I did it earlier. It is 1416, and it doesn't include the 12-foot covered porch.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't
Which
include the garage.
The covered porch
no.
isn't the issue. It's the 216 square feet.
So we're actually at 14.6, okay. So that has been established then, correct? Okay. Okay, look. Mr. Smith, you still have the floor? Please do.
So I guess my point is, even if you had an acre lot, 1 to 2 acres, you'd still need a 16-foot
well,
variance off the.
there must
off
be a
that,
difference
so-
in how it's calculated. I would stay under the 1,400, it's the 1 acre allowable. I apologize, I don't know where the number, I don't have a piece of paper here in front of me where we use that calculation from, but it was supposed to be 1392 is what we were proposing when I submitted the drawing.
Okay, to keep it under the 1,400
Under the
square feet.
1,400, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. LaBelle, any more, please?
Just a comment, Mr. DeMaster, how long ago was the ordinance rewritten to ease the pain that we're experiencing this evening I know it was probably about 10 years ago that it was
Maybe about-
greatly exaggerated. so that
About
people could
7,
put
probably 6 or
7
7
ago?
years ago, yes.
So that people could have larger garages.
It was very restrictive. This 1,200 wouldn't have been allowed, and certainly not 1,400. It was 1,700 total, but it depended on the size of the property. It was really restrictive, even a 120 square foot shed. So
Yeah,
7 years ago, even this wouldn't have been allowed. But we
Right.
changed the ordinance to relax it so people could have larger accessory structures.
right. So we've already done that. We've already,
That is correct.
thank you. That's my only comment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair?
Please do.
I'm just looking at the lot. You have a nice big lot with lots of open spaces. And I'm also thinking perhaps garage could be added to the house to give you additional space that you need. That's not our job to do that for you, but I see there are some options that you could have if it's additional space you're looking for. That's all.
Just a comment on, I mean, I know that the ordinances, and some people may have had other reasons, but it's interesting that so many on my street alone have larger accessory buildings on lots that are the same size or considerably smaller than the one I'm on. And if they just now relaxed it, and it's in the records of the city, what was the reason that they were allowed to have that and recorded into the city's documents that you could go larger?
Really, it's hard to go back and, like I said earlier, each petition pretty much handles on their own merit. The only comments or concerns the chair has at this stage, and this is my personal opinion on this, it is a larger lot. And your intentions of making the larger structure are for you said woodworking?
Yeah,
Is that a hobby or is that
It's a hobby, yeah.
So you're not gonna be running any type of business out of here? Or
I'm
storing
retired,
anything?
no businesses, please.
Okay, yeah. Eventually I'll get there too, but I'm working on retirement, that's the story. But that's a good thing. So really, you're not gonna be storing chemicals, not running a business. Really, the exposure to other neighbors is basically, the petition has go out to everybody else, and the petition from the road, you really can't see it. I know how uniform, but interesting. Do you have any lawn equipment you'd be using to store into this?
Yeah, I have a riding lawnmower. I also have a small Kubota tractor that I would store in there when I'm not.
So basically, you're gonna use your current garage now from your car.
Try to, yes.
Truck or car, whatever you have there, and really the structure is gonna actually be for your woodworking and lawn equipment to maintain the property.
Right.
That's all I had. Anything additional? I think Nico.
I have just a question for the building department. With going back to Ms. Vosberg's question about possibly enlarging the garage, what would the restriction be to make his existing garage larger beforehand and then
He could make
proceeding
the
with?
existing detached garage 1,200, and he could add an additional attached 920.
Okay, that answers exactly what I was getting at, is possible, the possibility of
If attached,
Going
you
920,
get
yeah.
one attached
So if I
at
was
920
to
and one.
attach my garage to my house, some way, say a breezeway, then that would go towards the 950 first, and then I would have 1,200.
It would have to be a full permanent structure with a foundation. You could do it. If you attach that existing garage to the house, no, you'd only be allowed 920, and then you could do an additional 1,200.
Right.
If you actually attach.
Which is
garage
kind of
to the-
strange, or
You know,
in the way the ordinance is written,
There's
I
gotta
can
be
have
some
a
rules, I
garage at
guess.
950 or 920
920.
attached, and then I could have another 1,200 out back, but I can't have 1,400 total without attaching my garage to it.
There has to be some rules. I mean, they have to.
That's one of the instances where we fine tune our ordinances periodically. That's one of the spots.
Well, that one is really, that
But I
is
say,
really-
that's one of the spots where you could say,
Yeah.
So
It's probably one
really
it
just-
should
it
be
was
looked
limited,
at.
it was limited to a lot less, and now it's more, and now it's maybe
It's a
happy
lot
median
more.
would be, a small change to what it is now.
And because it was so restrictive, that's probably why you may see some bigger structures, but it wasn't working because they were going for, I guess, if you have a bad ordinance and so many people are appealing, that's why you gotta change it. And we did change it, and we made it better for almost everybody. Just
Yeah.
somehow, that's how it
So,
goes.
so basically, what attachable garage and you would have more square footage on his property then, right?
Yes, more accessory structure, a
Yeah,
lot more,
more-
actually.
more accessory
With an
structure.
attached 920. and an
Kind of the other
additional
interesting thing on the
1,200.
way
Right.
they prorated the square footage increases, it's not linear, it's very discrete. So as you know, you can go all the way down to less than a half acre and get the same square footage of an outbuilding, all the way up to 1 acre.
Yeah,
And
when we
there's no-
when we did alter this ordinance, we went through so many communities, we took the time and matched
My
others.
taxes,
and-
though,
Yeah. well, the
Don't
taxes.
go
Yeah.
digital like that either. My neighbor who has, 0.4 acres, he pays 0.4% of or 40% of the tax that I pay on my 1 acre property.
Yeah.
They seem to
I'm not a
figure out.
tax assessor, so I have no
Well,
idea.
the city figured out how to do a linear tracking on something instead of just yes and no. So I'm just saying, maybe we talk to the tax assessor and see how he's able to apportion things by the acreage versus just your digital yes or no.
They plug that right into an algorithm.
Everything's computerized nowadays. It's pretty simple.
Okay, anything additional? What's the board's pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion to deny petition 2024-05. I'm not seeing any evidence or support for the practical difficulty, or the hardship.
Do I have support?
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Nay. We do have 4 positive votes, so it has been denied.
Okay.
Thank you. Moving along, any old business?
Push the whole thing? Can you put the addition in the front, attach it to the house?
We're trying not to redo the brand new house we just built.
I mean, it makes it all go away if you could do that, you know?
Yeah, that was,
Thank you. Any old business that we want to discuss at this time? Any new business? Gary, anything exciting happening?
I don't think there's anything new since last time. I mean, got
Chick-fil-A, is that still coming?
Chick-fil-A
permit
started.
was issued
Okay.
2 days ago or yesterday? Maybe even this morning. I
Okay.
did it Friday and into Monday, and then Jenny had to add the water fees and whatnot. But they've been chomping at the bit to get that permit. We were just waiting for Mitch to release it because there was a few engineering issues. But they resolved them, and away they go.
The gas station there on Donner and 23? That looks like it
That
went
one's
through
moving
planning.
forward. That was approved. That's in engineering right now.
Okay,
And building, I have it.
right.
No, I have the one for Maverick. I don't think I have sheets yet in for a building permit. They're in for engineering.
Okay. And Maverick is, where's the Maverick one going?
It was the Come and Go.
Come and Go?
Come and Go was bought out by Maverick, and now it's gonna be a Maverick station instead.
They change them, I don't
It
know.
is better, I
I see
agree.
all shells are going out too. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
The Shells are going, Shell gas stations?
Yeah, it's
I have
supposed
not
to go to
seen a
business.
Shell gas station in a while. You're probably right.
Yeah, so, come and go. Nothing's
There's
exciting.
that, I mean, do you think of anything additional, new that's coming?
No IKEA or anything like that? or-
No IKEA.
No IKEA, okay. Yeah, well, we're
Yeah,
trying.
I'd say so.
I saw
Oh, no,
Lefties is no more, and now it's gonna be Red Effect.
It's an exercise, yeah, an exercise place in front of the exercise place,
Right.
next to the boxing place, right? I mean, it's an approved use, you can't deny it. Right next to it. We do need another one.
Let's not go down there.
Right, he's smiling and saying nothing, so that's why I'm laughing.
There we go. Okay, I think we do have meeting minutes. Did everyone review them? I believe they were on the attachment.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 28, ZBA meeting.
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Our next meeting, I believe, has been canceled. Any ideas on the following meeting? Gary, you hear anything?
There is going to be one.
What's the date?
May 8th, somebody's birthday.
May 8th.
Somebody's birthday. I already heard.
Can you tell us anyone?
I cannot at this time.
This time, okay. Stay tuned to the next.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have support? Oh, did we approve, did we take a motion on the minutes? I know we, okay. Support, all in favor, signify by saying aye.